Well, let's begin with the United States of America. President Donald Trump's electoral might be declining. A political tsunami that swept all over the swing states in 2024 is now falling behind even in traditional strongholds. Remember, Democrats are surging ahead in the local elections, while Republican candidates are taking losses despite backing from the president himself. The latest Republican bastion to fall into Democratic hands is Texas State's Senate seat of Tarrant County. The election that otherwise would be a local affair has set an alarm bells ringing for the Republicans nationwide. President Donald Trump's election machine is falling behind. The candidate that he backed managed to get 43% vote. That's it. While the Democrat opponent, Taylor Rahmat, clinched the victory with 57% vote. Now, this is significant. Just a year ago, Donald Trump had won the same county with a 17% margin, between a 17% lead to a loss by 14%. 31% voters flipped in just 1 year.
You mean I won by 17 and this person lost? Things like that happen.
Does it worry you about the
Well, you don't know whether or not it's transferable. You know, I'm not on the ballot, so you don't know whether or not it's transferable. No, I don't know anything about it. I didn't know. I mean, I know there's a race going there, and it's too bad. What can I say? I have nothing to do with it.
But remember, this is not the only case. The list of Republican defeats is long. Political sands are shifting in Florida as well, where voters elected a Democrat mayor last November, after almost 30 years of having a Republican head. The theory of anti-incumbency fails to explain this pattern. As Democrats are successfully defending their bastions, the blue camp has managed to win mayoral polls in New York City, Cincinnati, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, and the governor races at New Jersey and Virginia. The shift in this trend comes at a very crucial time for Donald Trump. Midterm elections are in November this year, touted as a first referendum to Trump's second presidency. Loss in this election would flip the balance of power at the Hill. Now, as things stand, Republicans enjoy a thin majority in Senate as well as the Congress. Even the slightest tilt on the Democrat side will turn the tables in the Senate as well as in the House of Representatives. 1/3 of Senate seats and all the seats of House will be up for grabs, and President Donald Trump cannot afford to lose this battle. In fact, not just seats. It seems like Donald Trump's own popularity has been on a decline. This, coupled with tariff-infused inflation, massive anger of the ICE shootings, and electoral losses, could be a dangerous mix for the U.S. president. The clock is ticking, and the time for course correction is less. Will the MAGA boss now turn the tide or face defeat in the midterms? We'll have to wait and watch. And joining me live now is Eugene Craig III, political analyst. He's joining us live from Washington, D.C. Eugene, welcome. Good evening. Let me start by asking you how you see this Texas setback for the Republicans. You know, this was a local election that perhaps wouldn't have meant so much, but now it has assumed so much significance at a national level.
Look, the thing is this, right? Donald Trump endorsed this candidate. This candidate raised $2 million U.S. dollars to the Democrats' $200,000 U.S. dollars. That's the 10-to-1 being outspent with the national support of the President of the United States. This is a 10-alarm fire. This is a whole city on fire. Trump world Republicans should be on notice, because if you apply that same 31-point swing to districts across the country, you're looking at, I don't think 2010 Republicans is a historical benchmark. You're looking at Democrats having 260, 270 seats in Congress and uncountable seats at the state and local level. So you partner that with the trends that you're looking at with Virginia. There's a South Carolina seat that's the Republicans held. You have the Miami seat, the Miami mayor's race. But you've had like 20 or 30 special elections that Democrats have just swept. And one is part of the sentiment, but it's also Republicans overplayed their hand, and when it comes to ICE and other real-time issues.
You know, Eugene, when Donald Trump was sworn in, he promised MAGA tariffs as well as immigration crackdown, and he went ahead with it. Now they've reached a situation where they've become messy situations to handle, coupled with, of course, the Venezuela action that US took and the tensions that remain with Iran. If his approval ratings are being reduced by these actions and policies, why isn't Donald Trump changing course? Why is the Republican Party still going ahead with that strategy?
Sometimes change is hard. But, I have my Bowie State quarter zip on right now. And one of the things that teach you in Bowie State's political science department is that when the polling numbers show and when public sentiment changes, effective politicians actually pivot and shift in real time and really quickly. The issue is this, right? We started to see a little bit of change with Donald Trump. He got Bavino out of Minneapolis and sent Holman up there, but the policy and execution is still the same. And the thing is this, when immigration was his strongest issue, and now he's underwater on it across the board, whether it's a white men, whether it's Republicans, Independents, Democrats, and then you take the whole tariff issue where, you came and said you're going to make things cheaper, and you're going to fix, quote unquote, fix the economy that didn't need fixing. Joe Biden handed him a red hot economy. You have to think about, you come in and say you're going to make things cheaper, you make them marginally more expensive overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, literally overnight. Sometimes double and tripling the cost. So, these are issues that Trump created on his own, and we're seeing this play out in the special elections because these are the first time the electorate actually have an opportunity to voice their opinion via voting
So,
how
Eugene,
they
help
see
me
these things
understand
going.
this. Can we then say that Donald Trump has created his own Frankenstein of issues, which he's now embroiled in that cobweb out of which he's not able to get out and, take a different strategy towards November?
Yes, absolutely. He took issues that he was net positive on or close to positive on and turned them into huge negatives. And now you're looking at a situation where the Republicans gerrymandered district and made them less Republican to try to go take some Democrat districts, and they miscalculated the population, thinking that hey, the gains they made with black men and Hispanic women were going to just stick around forever. And now they put themselves in a position where Democrats very well may have a historic election like we've never seen before come November.
Okay, let's wait and watch how these next few months and, of course, the November midterm elections go. I'll leave it there. Eugene, thanks very much for joining us on WION and sharing your perspective.
Thank you.